Hello, gamers, and welcome to another gaming news update with yours truly, Savage Universe here. We're going to start with Xbox because it seems as though Xbox might be planning a major announcement regarding Call of Duty this year. Of course, there has been a somewhat of a leak that has happened in the recent 2 weeks that seems to have confirmed the fact that the actual date of the showcase for Xbox is going to be June the 9th, which we also I think most of us suspected it was going to be June 9th, considering it would just be a few days before, well, a few days after the Summer Game Fest show. So we knew that this was happening, and essentially the plan is that they could be not only they've got plans to potentially reveal this year's COD, which is yes, this year's Call of Duty, to be announced at an Xbox stage because of the partnership, because of the acquisition of Activision by Microsoft, is the reason why Call of Duty is going to get a feature in the showcase this year. But more importantly, they are probably getting ready to announce older Call of Duties to be coming to Game Pass, potentially to get announced this June, because there's been a lot of talk that the whole Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War, which is apparently set to be the name of this year's COD, that they're gearing up to basically announce more back catalog games, and the fact that this will be that this year's Black Ops title is not going to be the only announcement we can expect from COD, and that there's going to be a possibility of older Call of Duties getting announced for Game Pass, which I think will be very, very cool if this ends up happening, because it means that essentially it gives Call of Duty fans an opportunity to play other CODs leading up to the new Call of Duty, which I think is a really smart decision for Activision and Microsoft to create, is to give people the opportunity to relive some of the best Call of Duties, like Black Ops 3 Zombies, the original Black Ops. That comes to mind. Also, Black Ops 2 comes to mind. World at War with the debut of Zombies, because yes, many of us probably remember when Zombies first came out with that title. And then you've got the Modern Warfare series, the classic Modern Warfare run, which I'm sure a lot of people had fond memories of those. So yeah, and the fact that you'll be able to hopefully play Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, World War II, just among some of the Call of Duties that will have basically hopefully have access to, thanks to should they make this announcement this summer, which I think is very likely, considering a lot of insiders seem to be hinting towards this happening, which is very, very exciting to hear that we might finally get some older Call of Duties come to Game Pass just basically a few months before this year's COD, which will be amazing. I mean, it depends on when they bring them and make them available, but I would imagine it will be hopefully not too far after the showcases where we'll hopefully get some of the old Call of Duties coming out to Game Pass, so it gives us time to enjoy those before this year's title, which is rumored to be Black Ops Gulf War, finally is due probably sometime October, November, which is when we usually get COD. New COD releases. So yeah, and of course on top of that, there's already been hints that we might be hearing about release dates for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Avowed, and Microsoft Flight Simulator are games that are expected to get release dates announced in June. As well as the possibility of a new God of War that's been rumored just recently. Gears of War, should I say? We'll come to that eventually, but yes, Gears of War is currently rumored to be potentially getting an announcement this June, so we might be getting a new Gears to look forward to, and as well as more games for Game Pass to look forward to as well. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of indie and a lot of brand new titles we never heard of make their way to Game Pass, and maybe some more big games getting announced for Game Pass at the same time. Coming back to the Call of Duty stuff, I mean, we have heard recently, since February, the fact that this year's Call of Duty expected to be Black Ops Gulf War is going to feature an open world campaign developed by Raven Software, where Treyarch are going to be working with the zombies portion and the multiplayer sections of this game. So basically, Treyarch are going to be focusing on what they're good at, which is multiplayer and zombies, whereas Raven Software are going to be doing the whole open world campaign for this year's Black Ops, well, for this new Black Ops entry, which they say is going to be akin to of Far Cry, that they're hoping to achieve with this year's campaign, which hopefully they'll do well. And apparently it's due to be released in October, compared to November that we saw last year. So it looks like, yeah, we might be we're going back to October release this year for this year's Call of Duty. But we'll hopefully find out more about this. Hopefully at the Xbox Showcase this year, should it all go to plan, then yes, we should be hearing more about it this year, which is going to be pretty exciting for Call of Duty fans to learn a lot of details, but not only about the new games, but also to see some some back catalog Call of Duties coming to Game Pass. Whilst you're waiting. As well as that, we've also found out that Battlefield 2042 is going to be stopping support with Season 7, which means they're already starting to work on the new Battlefield. So obviously work on the new Battlefield's already ongoing, which means that the current Battlefield's going to be wrapping up development so that they can progress further with the new Battlefield, whatever that ends up being. Hopefully they'll redeem themselves with this new entry. We also found out recently that Star Wars Outlaws is going to be getting a release on the 30th of April. And yes, pre-orders have gone live, even though one of the pre-orders, particularly the Ultimate Edition, is being priced at over $130 or over £130 here in the UK, which I think has really upset a lot of critics recently, which hasn't really gone down very well with the public. But there you go. That's Ubisoft for you. And speaking of Ubisoft, they've even done an article talking about the whole X-Defiant development troubles they've been having ahead of the Xbox survey tests. And you can read more in the link in the description if you want to know what troubles they've been getting through in regards to that. And then on top of that, we also heard that NetEase is apparently in agreement with Microsoft to bring new titles to Xbox. And the fact that Blizzard games are going to return to China as well as part of this deal, which is going to be something. The fact that Phil Spencer managed to make this deal recently with Blizzard, and we'll see how things go in terms of releases. I mean, they're meant to be having access again to World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and Diablo, as well as StarCraft, as part of this renewed publishing deal. So we'll see how it all goes well, won't we? Also, recently we found that EA players getting their price increase outside of Game Pass, which means that 1 month EA plays outside of Game Pass is now going to price at $5.99 or $5.99. And then 12 months are now going to be jumping up in the UK up to £36. Most of the states it'll be $40. So they're the new prices for EA Play going forward. And also Xbox have released a new April update, which means if you're using Discord on Xbox, you'll now be able to now hear soundboard audios from other channels, which is really good. And you'll also have an option to mute the soundboard by going into your options section of your Discord voice options, which is great. And they've also made it so you can now use your OneDrive to back up your game captures and clips now if you're running out of space. And there's also a new installation option that's also gone live as part of the update, as well as a couple of features for the PC as part of this new April update that's just rolled out to Xbox and PC players. Palo World's also got a new arena. It's going to be getting an arena mode later this year for those who are playing Power World. You can look forward to that soon. And then on top of that, we also found out that the Rogue Prince of Perth that we've heard rumors about is going to be coming to PC, but they have promised it will be getting a release on other platforms later. So we should be hearing about other platforms later on, even though they haven't said specifically when you can expect them to release on other platforms, but we should hopefully find out soon. EA has apparently released a statement saying that they're putting the Dead Space remakes on hold, responding to the rumors about Dead Space 2 remake that a lot of people were hoping there was going to be some more of Dead Space, but unfortunately they're putting it on hold, so guess we're going to have to wait for some time. And then on top of that, we finally got some news from Bethesda regarding Fallout 4's next-gen version is going to be releasing in just a few weeks on April 25th. The 25th of April is going to be your first chance to play Fallout 4 on Xbox Series X and S, as well as PlayStation 5. And obviously, this is going to come with new performance and quality modes for those who want to upgrade their performance in terms of graphics. There's going to be stability improvements, bug fixes coming to all versions of Fallout, including Xbox and PlayStation 4 versions. And then on top of that, they're also going to be offering a enhanced remedy quest where you can get some items free of charge, of course. And they're also going to be offering you up 60 frames per second and increased resolutions as part of this update that's coming to PS5 and Series X and S at the end of the month for Fallout 4, which is great opportunity to jump back in if you want to experience the game on the new on the latest Xbox and PlayStation platforms, which is really great that we're finally getting the next gen version. And then on top of that, we found out that Baldur's Gate 3 won an award for won some awards in the BAFTA Gaming Awards this past weekend. They managed to get the best game of the year as part of the, and a few other awards as well, but mostly best game of the year, considered like the main sort of win for them at the BAFTA Game Awards. And you can see all the rest of the winners in the link in the description if you want to see who else won an award this past weekend. And then we found out, and then there's apparently been a lot of switch of managers in UK retail and game that's apparently been swapping core staff to 0-hour contracts, which is apparently, you can read more about that. And then recently we found out that Spyro the Dragon it's apparently been spotted on PC for Microsoft Store. So it may suggest we could be getting an Xbox Game Pass release for Spyro Reunited Trilogy. Could be coming soon to PC and Xbox Game Pass. So you might want to keep your eyes peeled for the possibility of Spyro the Dragon making his way to Xbox Game Pass. So if he's coming, I guess that means that we could be seeing Crash Bandicoot very, very soon as well. So hopefully we'll see Spyro and Crash Bandicoot make their way to Game Pass in the coming weeks, which would be really great. But for now, it looks like Spyro the Dragon Reunited Trilogy could be just weeks away from dropping on Game Pass. As well as that, we've also got some word about the Remedy 2 DLC, The Forgotten Kingdom, that's out on the 23rd of April. It's their second DLC that's also going to be coming to Game Pass. For those who have the game on Game Pass will have access to this DLC release that they're going to be dropping as part of Remedy 2, which is going to be great for them. And then we found out that Crash Bandicoot 4 sold over 5 million copies recently, and the fact that there's been a lot of saying that there's a lot of talk about great news about the future of Crash Bandicoot. So they're feeling very, very high about Crash Bandicoot, and hopefully there's hope there maybe for a Crash Bandicoot 5 down the road, as both parties have reached an agreement on a new game. So hopefully maybe there's a future for Crash Bandicoot to have a Crash Bandicoot 5 down the road. I guess we'll have to wait and see. As well as this, we also found out some details. The fact that Hallmark is releasing a musical Xbox ornament, which will be a must-buy for this Christmas, and it actually plays the Halo theme. Funny enough, but they've recently got this out for pre-order, and they're going to be releasing it in time for Christmas this year, which is very early for them to announce Christmas items already, but it's from Hallmark, who are going to be in charge of the sales for this product. And then also Hypercharge, that is basically this action figure style shooter, has finally got a release date for Xbox. It's going to be, they say that, it's something big is coming for this title, and apparently it's due to release on the 1st of May. So we could be seeing a 1st of May release for Hypercharge when it arrives, hopefully to Xbox, for Xbox players and PC players who want to, but mostly Xbox players who want to play Hypercharge Unboxed, which is this game that they've been teasing for the last few years, that may finally make its way to Xbox potentially on the 1st of May, which would be really exciting if they've been able to get it ready for the 1st of next month, which I'm sure will be great fun when people start to play it. But yes, hopefully we'll learn more soon about Hypercharge. Now we're going to move forward to now we're going to move our way forward to the PlayStation details, because we do know, of course, that PlayStation Plus's extra and premium titles have been announced for Tuesday, and these are going to include Animal Well, as well as which is going to be dropping on May 9th, which will be a day one release, along with Tales of Kenzura that's coming out on the 23rd of April. We have Dave the Diver, Oddballers, Construction Simulator. The Crew 2 from Ubisoft is making its way. It's only going to, unfortunately, though, it's going to be available just for PS4. And then we have a Lego Ninja Movie video game, as well as Deliver Us Mars is making its way to the system, as well as Lego Marvel Avengers, Stray Blade, just to name a few of the titles. And then they've got some premium titles, including Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, which is the original PlayStation release, Star Wars Rebel Assault, which is also original 2, which is original PlayStation release, and Medieval from its original PlayStation release is also coming to PlayStation Plus Premium as of tomorrow if you want to play the original, how it looked back in the PlayStation 1 days, which is really exciting. And then we found out that Pac-Man's getting a Battle Royale on the 9th of May, which will be 64 players, and that will be dropping soon. Then we also found out about a new Genshin Impact update that's coming out on the 24th of April, which I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see details about the new Genshin Impact update that's coming soon. On top of that, we also found out recently that Helldivers has been selling way faster rate than Spider-Man 2. So it turns out Helldivers is doing incredibly well in sales over the last few weeks, which is insane. And then, as well as that, we've been hearing some progression about Iron Man, the new Iron Man game, but unfortunately, it's still years away, even though we've been hearing a little bit more updates about the game. And that the fact that Ubisoft could be getting ready for the new Splinter Cell remake to finally get an official more details at the Ubisoft Forward. So we might finally be hearing about the Splinter Cell remake. For those who have been waiting for details, it looks like we could be finally getting some news at Ubisoft Forward on June the 10th, which will be very exciting for anybody who's been looking forward to this Splinter Cell remake that they've been working on behind the scenes. Someone's been able to get the Helldivers 2, players have been able to get the Platinum for Helldivers 2 recently as well. And then, of course, Microsoft did a whole beta for Sea of Thieves on PS5 to test the waters, and this was only available for those who pre-ordered Sea of Thieves on PlayStation. But obviously, the game itself will be coming out in the coming weeks. So yeah, they've been trying to test the waters this past weekend. And yeah, the pre-test is going to be from Friday the 12th, and it lasts till basically tonight. So you have a little bit of time if you want to check out the beta for Sea of Thieves on PlayStation. Sony Santa Monica Studios is hiring for a new God of War game. So yes, coming back to that God of War game, yes, they're potentially working on a new God of War that could be coming out in the next few years. So it's nice to see that a new God of War is being worked on as we speak. And then obviously back to Star Wars Outlaws, we're going to be getting 2 expansions to arrive after the PS5 and Xbox Series X launch of this title. So there's going to be 2 narrative-focused DLCs for Star Wars Outlaw to look forward to for those who are interested for this title. Then we also found out that obviously Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time remake is apparently ways off, even though it's being completely redone. Stumble Guys is having an open beta, which is essentially a sort of a mock of Fall Guys in a battle royale, another battle royale platformer that's sort of making fun out of Fall Guys in a way. And then we've also found out recently that there's obviously some more characters coming to Disney Speedstorm, which apparently they're planning a Road Rage content that's going to be dropping. Even though they're also getting ready for the Wreck-It Ralph content coming to Disney Speedstorm, which is really really cool. They're bringing Wreck-It Ralph to the scene. And then on top of that, we also found out about the fact that the Kingdom Come devs are teasing a new game reveal that's happening basically later this week. So you'll be finding out what game they've been working on later in the week if you're interested to hear about their brand new game. It's going to get a reveal this week. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has apparently sold over 2 million copies on the PlayStation since its release, which is nice to hear that they've been doing pretty well. Have done somewhat well since its release. Helldivers 2 again dominating the charts in terms of sales on the PlayStation Store, so it's good to hear that they've been doing really, really well. And then we've heard that Stellar Blades has got a download size that's been respected to PS5 storage. It's basically going to be around 30.4 gigabytes when it releases on the 26th of April, which is good to hear. So it won't basically take up all your space, which is nice. And then apparently there's been talks that there's going to be a part 3 of Final Fantasy VII Remake expected to be released around 2027. So we might have to wait another 2 years or 3 years, should I say, until we get the third part of this whole remake trilogy, which is very interesting. Now, I know some Rockstar players or GTA players are not going to find this news very appealing, but Rockstar's GTA Plus membership is going to be going up in price, unfortunately. It's apparently going to be going up from £4.99 or $6 to £7 and $8 when they increase the prices, which is going to begin from the 11th of June. They say that they're going to immediately charge existing players from that date. But yeah, so that's basically the new price tags for the GTA Plus membership. That's now getting a price increase heading into into the summer of this year, which is a little bit unfortunate. But they are still offering 1,000 GTA bucks for every month in August, which is at least somewhat of a good thing. So, but the best thing is it's gone up by a tiny bit, which is it's not like a crazy amount, which is a good thing. So it's still reasonable pricing, which is nice. And then we found out that Fallout player counts have been skyrocketing since the Amazon TV series of Fallout. Yes, the player count's been skyrocketing with Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76, mainly because of the TV series, and it makes sense for that they would do really well. But then, of course, we had job listings recently confirming that EA's Black Panther game is going to be open world when it releases down the road, which is nice. And of course, Fallout 4 is getting a sale on PlayStation when it launches on the 25th of April. So there is going to be a sale for basically the season pass, and all the different DLCs are all going to be going on sale. And in fact, this applies to the PS4 versions, which are offering these free upgrades, which means that essentially you can get the discounts now for Fallout 4, and you'll be eligible for the upgrades that are going to be available. And unfortunately, they did say that the Fallout 4 that's on PlayStation Plus will not get the free upgrade to PS5. So it would mean you would have to buy you would have to get Fallout 4 outside of PlayStation Plus to get the free upgrade, is what they've said, which is but also it would basically mean that Bethesda would have to release a separate PS5 version of Fallout 4 onto the service in order for that to work, which is hopefully they will do. But yeah, so that's the sale that they're doing with Fallout 4, which is going to be which is live right now on the PlayStation to get you ready for Fallout 4's next gen release for PS5 and Series X and S. Hopefully it goes. Hopefully you'll be able to get there and be able to get ready to update your game to the newer hardware, so you can experience Fallout 4 in a sort of a 60 frames per second environment, which would be great. But yeah, apart from that, that's pretty much all the news at this time, really. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.